Hirashaimase! Welcome! Andres Salazar, the host of The Art of Comics, where we talk about comic books. That's right. We're not going to talk about hoity-toity fine art, all that baloney. We've done enough of that. We're going to talk about comic books. That's right. The four-colored, 32-page, saddle-stitched books that we love, floppies, loosies. We're talking comics, and today we're going to talk about the first comics. Now, I am admittedly ignorant of first comics. I don't know much about them. I didn't get a bunch of them. Mid-'80s, I was more into, like everybody else, X-Men, Spider-Man, stuff like that. But in the mid-'80s, First Comics was pumping out a lot of interesting stuff. You had Chaykin's American Flag. You had this Nexus. You had Badger, Grimlock, or Grim, what was it called? Grim something? Grimjack, Hawkmoon, Sable, all these like books. So I found these at the swap meet, and I found a bunch of different books. So we're going to kind of go through these. This first time reading Nexus, okay? I'm very aware of the book, of its place, Rick Rude, all that kind of stuff. Did I say Rick Rude? I mean Steve Rude. Rick Rude is another thing. That's a wrestling thing. Steve Rude, Michael Barron, all that. This is issue 26. Again, I haven't read the first 25. This is issue 26, jumping right in at $1.75, which is more than comics were back then. So this was a little more expensive, but, you're an indie creator. What are you going to do? You're going to make these comics. So that's the way it went. You're not Marvel, so the prices had to be this. So let's just jump in. Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Okay, as I flip through this book, I'll just flip through it and kind of narrate a little bit as I walk through this. The story is fine. It's kind of interesting. The story is about art and this artist who deals with death. And I thought it was kind of interesting. It looks like we're like kind of right in the middle of a storyline as far as him looking for these artifacts and uncovering some kind of a language. And I did notice, I don't know if you can tell here, but the coloring on this is the blue and flesh tone is kind of interesting. I don't know how he did this, but it looked like it's kind of a smeared acrylic. I mean, it actually comes through in the printing kind of interestingly. So that was kind of cool. Overall, I mean, just speaking generally, this is fine. This is good. It doesn't blow me out of the water, of course. It's the mid-'80s, but, we're talking right now is like when you're hitting, like, some of the superstars at the max of their, like, work, right? Belsinkevich is doing Moon Knight, then New Mutants. We talk about, of course, Miller is now experimenting with different styles and looking at Japanese work to kind of get inspiration. European comics, heavy metal's been going hard. They've got a lot of interesting things happening. And so this feels a little more mainstream. It doesn't really push any boundaries or anything, but it's well rendered. It's well done. It's done well. It's composed nicely. There's nothing like weird about it or wrong about it. I'm not saying any of that. But it's not like blowing me out of the water. I do like some of the shading and shadows. Rude is doing some interesting things with the blacks. Would I read more? I mean, maybe. The problem is I'm getting to where this isn't my genre so much. And so it really has to be something special for me to love. But if you grew up with this, or you have a lot of history with Nexus, I mean, there's fans of this stuff for sure. And I can see the quality in there. So, yeah, kind of a mid review, perhaps. That's just my take on it, of course. Just as an outsider coming in. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Check out all my other videos. Subscribe, like the channel. You know, I have a Patreon. Go check that out. See all my comics. Also, if you want to look at my work, my original work, both in comics and in painting and fine arts, check that out at salzarentertainment.com. Thanks, guys. Bye.